Hi, this is Jim Ave, and I'm going to cover the reflection paper assignment for Kinesiology 792C, which can be found in Appendix D of our syllabi. So in this assignment, I'm going to have you reflect on what you've learned over the semester. So you're going to write about a 4 to 6 page paper describing the following. So the first section that I want you to provide is just provide a brief description of the 3 practice standards and the 3 codes of professional responsibility. One paragraph total for this. Just a summary of these things. That's all we want to discuss in this. You don't have to explain in too much detail. I also don't want you just to copy and paste them. So provide a little bit of explanation, but keep it to a paragraph total. That's 5 points. Second section, don't need to start on a new page like in the professional portfolios. Just have section titles and just start, right? Put a new section title and then start this next section. So what I want you to think about is of the 3 practice standards and the 3 codes that we covered this semester, which one is your strength? Which one you love doing? You just kind of get energy out of doing it. We've talked about the strengths based philosophy and 777A. So that's kind of what I'm talking about here as a strength. What makes this your strength? Or it could be more than one. It could be several of the codes or practice standards. Why is it your strength, and how can you continue to improve in these areas? So that's about a page. Some self-reflection here on what you do well in these particular areas that we've covered this semester. Next section is, as you think back on this semester, what was the most significant thing you learned during this class? It can be also something at your workplace, something about your clinical skills as you reviewed these codes and standards, something you never expect to learn about your place of employment, co-worker, yourself. This is pretty wide open per se. So about a page, something that you took away from this course during the time that you were reflecting on your professional development as an athletic trainer. That's 25 points. The next section is the courage and calling reflection. We talked about that. I'll go ahead and review that again. The final courage and calling reflection is you're going to think about the whole semester of the book that you've read, all these different reports, and probably reread those because it changed over time. It's been 3 months or so. So read those, what you've learned about yourself and your calling and your vocation, and discuss any impact that text has had on your vocational calling. What are some of the main takeaways from the text, and how will this impact your professional, personal life in general? So this reflection is about 1 to 2 pages in length. Okay. And our 5th section is describe how completing the professional portfolio assignments has caused you to practice continuous professional learning to further your own professional development, so that you are an advocate for the athletic training profession, and how you are a responsive and reflective athletic trainer. So that language there actually comes from our program student learning outcomes, number 3 here. I made it more specific in the assignment for athletic training versus kinesiology discipline. But this language is based off the NASP as it's called, the National Association of Sport and Physical Education. These standards are from the advanced standards. We use that particular document to develop our program student learning outcomes because those standards are for physical education teachers who are in a master's program. And so I kind of modified the language a little bit for our grad program and for this particular assignment. So what I suggest that you do for this particular part of the assignment is I provided you the document, the NASP 2008 document, to help you with this, understanding what this language means, that you are a continuous professional learner to further your own professional development, yada, 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 all that stuff. So I would explain what that terminology above means and then describe how you have actually satisfied that through the professional portfolio assignment. The reason why I'm having you do this work right here is because in our next class, in the 792D course, the final assignment that you're going to do is develop this a lot more. And so I want to get you used to writing this language and thinking this way. Okay, so that is, it's only about a page, about a half a page, describing what that language means, and then half a page on how you have satisfied this stuff through the portfolio. In the last part, you're going to turn in is your total number of hours worked for weeks 11 through 15. Again, just list them. Nothing else needs to be done there. You're going to turn this using Word. Provide a title page, 1-inch margins, 12-point fonts, double space, write in the first person, follow APA, blah, blah, blah. Okay. If you got any questions, please post them in a Q&A form. I'm here to help as always.